From the deadliest awakened to the near godlike sovereigns, Shadowslave has some of the most terrifying characters in Webnovel. Today, we're ranking the top 10 strongest, starting from the weakest all the way to the absolute peak. So make sure to watch until the end, because number 1 might just surprise you. And before we begin, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the Dream Realm. Now, let's set the rules. This ranking is based on information until chapter 2234, which is the latest during the making of this video, and it also adheres to the following criteria: raw power, stronger in the fight, like aspect ability, rank, class and lineage, memories, echoes, mastery and experience, how skilled are they in using their abilities, intelligence, strategic intelligence, and battle record, who have they defeated. Alright, now that the rules are clear, let's start with number 10. Starting off our list at number 10 we have Ki Song Anvil, better known as Beastmaster, one of Ki Song's adopted daughters and a figure of absolute control. Unlike most warriors who rely on brute strength, Beastmaster's power is rooted in domination. She exerts a near irresistible influence over others through her mesmerizing beauty and her aspect ability. She bends both humans and nightmare creatures to her will, transforming them into mindless slaves. What makes her terrifying is not just her ability to command, but her mastery in psychological warfare. She understands the human mind better than anyone and knows exactly how to break an enemy without a finger. Her presence alone is enough to instill fear, and even someone as resilient as Sunny has struggled to resist her. And that's saying a lot. Regarding raw power, Beastmaster is a transcendent saint, but unlike the higher ranked individuals, she lacks overwhelming physical strength. Her aspect ability focuses on domination and persuasion and insidious mental attacks rather than direct combat. Regarding her memory and echoes usage, she doesn't really use much. Her strength lies in her mind control abilities rather than external artifacts. She is also exceptionally skilled in mental manipulation and battlefield control, making her a terrifying presence in the Dream Realm. Her strength comes from tactical warfare and using nightmare creatures as pawns to overpower her enemies. Yes, she can also tame and control nightmare creatures. That's why she is so feared. She can literally send a legion of nightmare creatures at you. Regarding her battle record, she has influenced and mentally dominated powerful individuals, including causing Sunny's psychological distress during battle, which is practically unheard of because it's fucking Sunny. Beastmaster's ability to make others her eternal thralls is a power that cannot be underestimated. However, in a direct fight, her lack of brute force places her at the bottom of this list. She works best when there's other targets taking the brunt of the force. Her mesmerizing beauty, amplified by her power, is her greatest weapon, turning enemies into willing slaves. But against stronger-willed opponents or those immune to her influence, she lacks the means to dominate, and that's why she takes up the number 10 spot. Following up at the number 9 spot we have Moonveil, the Black Moon. Moonveil is one of Ki Song's transcendent daughters and a warrior of eerie, haunting beauty. Her name is whispered with fear. Because of her unique ability, she can suppress the aspects of others, stripping them of their powers and leaving them defenseless. This ability makes her one of the most dangerous opponents in the Dream Realm, as many of the strongest beings rely heavily on their aspects to fight, such as Nephis. She's not only an expert at neutralization, but also an incredibly skilled combatant. Her saber dances through the air, slicing through opponents before they can even react. Unlike Beastmaster, who relies on control, Moonveil excels in direct combat, making her a true predator. Hell, even Nephis complimented her on her swordplay. In the raw power department, Moonveil is a transcendent. She's stronger and faster than most saints. While she's not the strongest in raw force, her ability to neutralize other abilities makes her a pretty damn dangerous opponent. Her most impressive feat is cornering and suppressing Nephis, almost killing her even, negating her near immortality and almost defeating her in Vanishing Lake. Moonveil's ability is one of the most broken aspects in Shadowslave, but it also restricts herself, keeping her from using her full strength. Her combat skill is refined to a near-perfect state, allowing her to battle at a level beyond her power tier. However, against beings that don't really rely on aspects, such as those with physical transformations or dominion over external force, her effectiveness kind of drops. An argument can be made that she could be higher on our list. On our number 8 spot we have another of Ki Song's daughters, Revel, the Dark Dancer. Revel, also known as the Light Slayer, is another one of Ki Song's adopted daughters and one of the most terrifying assassins in the dream realm. She is the first of the adopted daughters to attain Transcendents. She transcended into a near ethereal being, gained the ability to become one with darkness itself, not shadows. This allows her to move at unimaginable speeds, strike from unpredictable angles, and phase through solid matter, very much resembling the Dark Knight in the cathedral that Sunny killed. She wields a cursed sword that afflicts her enemies with multiple forms of suffering, paralysis, necrosis, and mind-breaking agony. Talk about a good time. Anyone struck by her blade does not just suffer physically, but mentally as well. She's not just an assassin, she's a living nightmare. She can move within the darkness, effectively making her untouchable in certain environments. Her physical strength is superior to most saints, and she boasts immense speed. Her cursed sword infects almost anything it touches, with paralysis, wasting, and necrosis, making her a nightmare in melee combat, as a single wound can spell disaster. She has fully mastered her liquid darkness transformation, making her one of the most evasive and unpredictable fighters in Shadow Slave. And she knows how to properly exploit the battlefield and use her darkness to control engagements. She countered Sunny's abilities, proving herself a legitimate threat to one of the most dangerous fighters in Dreamrealm. She almost killed him, going toe-to-toe with him during the ambush in Vanishing Lake. Revel is an assassin-like figure, moving through darkness faster than the eye can track. Her transformation makes her almost intangible, making it difficult for anyone to land a solid hit on her. Her flaw, however, is her dependency on darkness, meaning that in a well-lit environment, her power is heavily diminished. However, if it's a dark environment, well, you're pretty much fucked. Only Sunny and a few others could really fight her, that's why she occupies the number 8 spot. Filling out the number 7 spot, we have Morgan of Valor. A welcome change, because it's not another Ki Song's daughters. Morgan of Valor is the daughter of Anvil, and one of the greatest duelists in the dream realm. She embodies both offensive mastery and defensive resilience. She has inherited her father's legendary strength and wields an aspect that sharpens anything she touches to an extreme level. Despite her warrior upbringing, Morgan is far from being a mindless brute. Her tactical mind and experience in high-stakes combat make her a terrifying, efficient fighter. Unlike many other fighters who rely on speed, Morgan is methodical. Every movement is calculated. Every attack is precise. She's one of the few individuals who can go toe-to-toe with Sunny in a fight, demonstrating that pure martial skill can sometimes rival supernatural power. Morgan is a transcendent titan, meaning her physical durability and raw strength are leagues above most fighters. She has the ability to absorb and integrate enchantments into her body, making her resistant to many forms of damage and supremely adaptable. For example, during the siege of Bastion, she engraved an enchantment of an hourglass that allowed her to turn back time 24 hours. She can engrave almost anything in her body, making her supremely adaptable. She is also one of the best swordsmen in the world, and her ability to adapt her body to different combat styles makes her nearly impossible to counter. She's not just strong, but possessing the war god's lineage, she's also intellectually formidable, having a deep understanding of warfare and battle dynamics. She has defeated Sunny in Dreamscape, proving that sheer skill can overpower adaptability in the right conditions. Morgan's ability to sharpen anything she touches turns even the simple movements into deadly strikes. Her greatest weakness, however, is her aspect's flaw. Her ability to enhance sharpness can make things brittle, but it's not really a flaw at the level she is, so she occupies our number 7 spot. On our number 6 spot we have Jet the Soul Reaper. Her power is unlike anything seen before. She does not strike the body, but the soul itself. This makes her an absolute nightmare to face, as armor, durability, and even supernatural regeneration become useless when she lands a hit. She has no mercy for her enemies, and her scythe is a weapon that consumes the very essence of her foes. Unlike many others on this list who fight with raw power, Jet fights to erase you from existence. That's why even stronger foes dread fighting her. Jet's soul-reaving aspect enables her to ignore physical defenses, allowing her to directly attack an enemy's soul. This makes her an unparalleled executioner. She wields a soulbound scythe that grows stronger with every soul it consumes, making her attacks more devastating over time. Jet is also one of the most experienced battle characters in Shadowslave. She has been through countless battles, has honed her combat instincts to near perfection. She doesn't waste movement, and every action she takes is aimed at delivering a finishing blow. Even Sunny admired the beauty of her fighting style, and often characterizing it as barbaric. Unlike Sunny though, Jet doesn't rely on deception. She relies on sheer efficiency and precision, ensuring that she wins before her enemies can. She survived Antarctica, the tomb of Ariel, and numerous large-scale conflicts, cementing her as one of the strongest warriors in the world. Jet's greatest strength is her ability to bypass normal durability, making even the strongest enemies fear her. However, her weakness lies in prolonged battles, because her power is most effective when she can end fights quickly, because her flaw means that she's pretty much always dying. She can't replenish essence, she has to kill people to replenish it. Damn, we're at the number 5 spot already. I've been talking for quite some time. On our number 5 spot is, you guessed it, Mordret, the Prince of Nothing. Mordret is a warrior and manipulator unlike any other. His aspect grants him mastery over mirrors and reflections, allowing him to step into another world, possess others, and even create terrifying mirror entities. This ability makes him one of the most unpredictable and dangerous opponents in Shadowslave. He is also highly intelligent and ruthlessly cunning. He does not rely on brute strength like Anvil, nor divine resilience like Nephis. Instead, he wins through trickery, deception, and overwhelming control over his surroundings. His ability to reflect attacks and manipulate the battlefield from multiple realities simultaneously makes him nearly impossible to predict or counter. Mordred's aspect allows him to duplicate his presence, attack from unseen angles, and invade the minds of others. His control over reflections grants him an omnipresent awareness of his surroundings, making him one of the most elusive and versatile fighters in the Dream Realm. But don't let all that trickery and deception fool you. He's also a transcendent beast. He's pretty strong dueling. After all, he has the lineage of war. Mordret is capable of creating mirror versions of individuals, effectively turning his enemies against themselves. His ability to step between dimensions gives him an unnatural advantage, as he can reposition himself instantly and strike when least expected. He is arguably one of the most brilliant minds in Shadowslave. He is patient, calculating, and always 10 steps ahead of most of his enemies. He does not fight fair, he fights to win, no matter the cost. Mordred has defeated Morgan multiple times, outmaneuvered Nephis' cohort, and has even bested Sunny in some encounters, proving that he truly is a nightmare to fight. His ability to mirror his enemy's abilities and movement makes him one of the most dangerous foes in the Dream Realm. He thrives in chaos and deception, turning every confrontation into a battlefield of his own design. His greatest weakness, however, is his resilience on possession and reflections. If an opponent can force him into a direct, no-escape confrontation, his advantage significantly diminishes. Following up on our number 4 spot, we have our female protagonist, Nephis, the Changing Star. Nephis is one of the most iconic figures in Shadowslave. A transcendent titan, Nephis wields an aspect unlike any other, Lightbringer. This ability allows her to summon and control divine fire that burns through the darkness itself, healing allies and incinerating her enemies. Nephis' defining trait is her unshakable determination. She has suffered more than almost any other character. Except fucking Sunny, probably Mordret as well. Yet, she continues to rise stronger every time. Her path is one of sacrifice, and she does not hesitate. Nephis possesses near immortality through her soul flames, making her one of the hardest beings to kill. Truly, she does not even require fucking essence to heal. She just needs to bear through the pain, I think. Her aspect legacy, Tower of Longing, and her citadel also grant her immense power and potential. She possesses countless memory, some upgraded by Sunny, some by herself. She has honed her battle prowess over countless fights, making her a near unmatched warrior. While she prefers direct combat, she has the tactical mind of a leader, capable of rallying forces under impossible odds. She has one of the most impressive records in the Dream Realm. She has defeated multiple terrors, conquered her second nightmare by herself, and is one of the strongest warriors alive. On our third spot, damn, we're already at the third. On our third spot, we have Sunny, the Lord of Shadows. Sunny, the protagonist of Shadow Slave, has risen from a mere sleeper to possibly one of the strongest beings in Shadow Slave. Unlike many others on this list, Sunny's strength comes from relentless adaptation, survival and learning. Every hardship he has faced has turned into a new stepping stone, refining his power and pushing him to new heights. He is a master of deception and tactical warfare. His aspect allows him to manipulate shadows, giving him the ability to create clones, control the battlefield, and overpower enemies who underestimate him. But beyond his supernatural talents, it is his mind, his ability to outthink even the strongest opponent that truly sets him apart. Sunny is a transcendent titan. Yes, you heard right. Possessing 7 soul cores with a divine aspect. It's fucking broken. Since he possesses 7 soul cores, he has access to 7 shadows and per consequence 7 incarnations. And each of those shadows can act as a multiplier to his abilities, making him 7 times more powerful, or another separate body with the same abilities. Pretty fucking broken. This makes him almost nearly impossible to pin down, mixed with his transcendent shadow ability. He also has collected some of the most powerful relics in existence, Imp and Nightmare. Also, Sunny, with Serpent, which is part of his aspect, can replenish his essence with every being he kills. That being said, if he's in a group fight, he can potentially have infinite essence. Also, he has Shadow Dance as part of his aspect legacy. Shadow Dance allows him to instantly read, not instantly but close, his opponent's fighting technique, allowing himself to adapt. He has supreme adaptability. No one in this list adapts better than Sunny. No one is more versatile. He also has the Blood of Weaver, which grants him pretty much indestructible blood and immunity to poison. He has Bones of Weaver, which grants him almost indestructible bones. He has the Soul Weave, which grants him almost indestructible soul. And he has almost indestructible skin. Talk about overpower. So he's one of the most physically strong in the novel. He's one of the fastest. He's one of the most versatile, and he's one of the most adaptable. Also, with Shadow Step, he can instantly transport to another shadow, making him supremely hard to pin down in battle. And with his Transcendent ability, Transcendent Transformation, he can mold himself into a cover of shadows. Then we have Ki Song and Anvil tied for our number 2 spot. They are the only 3 sovereigns current existence. Ki Song, the matriarch of the Song clan, is an embodiment of death and control. Her ability to manipulate puppetry and dominion grants her absolute control over her surroundings. She's feared not just for her combat prowess, but for her ability to turn even the strongest warriors into tools. And then you have Anvil, a living war machine, a master of metal and swordsmanship. They're roughly equal in power. I don't want to spoil you with this video, but in a few chapters they will either cease to be alive or power will shift. And at number 1, let's see if you guessed it, we have Asterion, the Dream Spawn. He's not a man, he's a being whose very name strengthens him. Unlike other warriors who rely on skill, memories and tactics, he exists outside normal logic. It took Ki Song and Anvil to gang up on him and to erase all of his followers to weaken him enough to trap him on the moon. He can't be stopped. He's outcast. His strength is beyond comprehension. His domain is not just a place, it is an idea, allowing him to spread his influence over reality himself. And by now it is rumored that he's already a sacred because he's surviving on the fucking moon. When there's a cursed terror living there, corrupted terrors, bro, there's being so fucking horrible living there. And he survives. And there you go, guys. That concludes our top 10 list of the top 10 strongest characters in Shadow Slave. If you enjoyed the list, make sure to leave a like, comment, and then subscribe. After all, this took a fucking ton of work to make, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every bit of it. Like Sunny says, damnation, but I keep going. So, see you next time. And before I go, let me know your list down below.